Your essential guide to Showerthoughts. 700 million people are smarter than you may sound like an insult, but it would put you at the 90th percentile. Using 3D printers, you can now pirate board games. Virgins who were born via a C-section have literally never touched a pussy in their entire lives. The show how it's made will eventually serve as an archive of past technology. The only reason why the Tower of Pisa is popular is because it is a failure. As bad as gangsters and mobsters may be, they are generally very good at carpooling. Photon cannon sounds way cooler than flashlight. 90% of being an adult is saying fuck under your breath. The other 10 is yelling it. You know you're becoming older when you're more worried of the property damage in superhero movies than impressed by the hero's actual feats. Encouraging kids to give the tooth fairy their teeth is teaching them it's okay to sell body parts for cash. Donkey from Shrek used to be a real boy, but he went to Pleasure Island with Pinocchio and turned into a donkey. Civil wars and revolutionary wars are the same, but civil wars are won by the mother nation and revolutionary wars are won by the new nation. Hearing one of your favorite songs on the radio is way more satisfying than playing it yourself. The water you use to flush your toilet is cleaner and less dangerous than the drinking water most of the world's people have access to. We talk to dogs as if they were human but often speak to our babies in gibberish. The Asian community is stereotyped as awful drivers and also amazing drift racers. Waterboarding only sounds fun if you are oblivious to what that is. Humanity is like the one smart kid in your class that has the capacity for all A's if it wasn't for their poor work ethic. Every time we drive, we trust complete strangers to not make simple mistakes that could kill us. There is probably a disproportionate amount of men versus women who know that 3.8 L equals 1 gallon because it is printed on urinals. Technically it's not a black and white printer. It's just a black printer that you use white paper with. The word trypophobia has an awful lot of holes in it. Supposedly, it's as easy to bite through your finger as it is to bite through a carrot, but no one's brave enough to prove it. Books would get a lot more suspenseful if we didn't know how many pages we had left. As soon as someone claims somebody's lying, somebody's lying. If the Force was real, the most used Force ability would probably be to grab your phone without getting up from your chair. Schools are the only company where the costumer is always wrong. If humans start colonizing Mars, Mars will most likely have a much higher average intelligence than Earth. On the internet you can be anything you want. It's so strange that many people choose to be stupid. You don't realize how much you take being healthy for granted until you're suddenly not. Ant-Man could shrink to enjoy a meal longer. A scientist learning about atoms is literally a group of atoms learning about itself. Maybe cats annoy us at night when we're asleep because that's what we do to them in the day. You're not truly comfortable with someone until you can sit next to them in silence and it's not awkward. The first ever plastic bag, it's still out there. You don't realize how loud electricity is until your power goes out. If you look at an actor's eyes close enough, you'll see the camera crew. People who write terms and conditions are paid to write things nobody will read. 50 years from now, there will be millions of deceased social media accounts. Despite the fact that it's done thousands of times in a human's lifetime, we never get used to waking up. Sometimes the smartest thing to do is to play dumb. Hogwarts students never got to experience sassy lunch ladies because their food just always appeared straight from the kitchen onto their plates. If Leonardo da Vinci were alive today, the Mona Lisa would have gotten about 44 likes on social media before being buried forever on the internet. If an alien searched the internet and noticed that older digital pictures looked worse, had less pixels, it might think digital pictures degrade over time. There will most likely be an excessive amount of overweight, middle-aged men dressing up as Thor this Halloween. You don't realize how strong you bite until you bite your tongue. You never realize how much the floor creaks until you try to sneak around. James Cameron's Avatar was the most successful movie ever, yet made almost no impact on pop culture.